Host in the house. Hold on, let me pin the comment. We've got some exciting news for all of you. We've got some birthday wishes for Quincy. We've got lots of wonderful things going on here.
Hola, amigo.
So, hi, guys. Hi.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank
So,
you.
you doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yes, he is Super
Hi.
8. He is Super Magic
Thank
8 today.
you.
Have you been watching? All right. Have you guys been watching Adventures in Christmasing? And I know that you have been, so that was kind of rhetorical. I see all of your comments. We all do, the cast, the crew, Viacom, VH1. And we are thrilled at how you guys are loving Adventures in Christmasing, the movie we've all put so much of our heart and soul into to give you all an extraordinary new type of holiday movie that's full of adventure, that's full of action and romance and comedy and danger and all sorts of great things. So I know you are not yawning up in my... Did y'all see that? Are you able to stick around here?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got some exciting news and we've got some special guests that are going to be dropping in this evening. Our great news is that the soundtrack to Adventures in Christmasing is out.
Pixie dust. Pixie dust.
So we are so excited to share that news with you. So tonight we wanted to bring to you all our Adventures in Christmasing music team. And so we wanted to share with everybody some of our artists, some of the brains behind the music. So I'm going to bring in first, I know Paul and Trayvon, I'm going to bring you guys in, but I know Kenny Lattimore has to go, Alex Isley, so let's bring them into the room. I'm going to bring in Kenny.
I do act.
Oh.
I do act. And
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. This is Miss Isley. Say hi, Quincy.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is Alex Isley, everybody. Yay!
Hi.
And I'm also going to bring in Kenny Lattimore because both of you guys have to go. I'm sorry that I was delayed this evening.
No worries
I had
at all.
So I had a little thing, and then we had to make sure that we also had birthday love and wishes for this guy here who turned 8
Of course.
today.
Happy birthday.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
There he is.
Hey!
Oh, snap.
Oh my
No,
God, this is super
we got-
exciting.
We got Alex Isley and Kenny
How are
Lattimore
you
in the
doing?
building. I'm about to
Hi.
pass out.
And my
Mark
nephew,
Kibble! You guys, Mark Kibble is in the building from Take 6.
Mark Kibble is
Mark,
here.
hi, Mark.
Mark, what's up, buddy?
Okay, so I was trying to be cute and get the Christmas tree in here
It's
with my...
poking you.
Yeah, I'm just pulling my braid, so we're going to get rid of this right here.
You said you can move up.
And then I can move over because he keeps pushing me out of my own camera shot. Okay, so congratulations to all of us because Adventures in Christmasing, the soundtrack, is officially here.
Yeah.
And you guys do such beautiful songs on the soundtrack. So ladies first. So Alex, I'm going to start with you. You are kind of Parker, my character, Parker's stream of conscience during the love scene moment, if you will. And you sing this beautiful song called Let's Explore. I actually did a video begging you to do the song. I was at Morehouse at an event and they said, oh, with the timing, we don't think she can do it. And I stopped what I was doing at the event and I turned on my phone. I said, Alex, I'm such a fan. Please.
That just made my day. That made my whole entire day.
She said yes. So Alex, how was it to sing the song Let's Explore?
It was awesome. First of all, just thank you for having me as a part of this whole wonderful experience and this beautiful film. I'm honored to be a part, and have always admired you. I mean, I grew up watching you, so this has been an honor and a treat for me. That song, when I heard it, it was just so beautiful and pure and honest, and so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to tackle it in the way that I wanted to, in the way that I felt like it needed to be delivered. And I know it was a quick turnaround, but I think just because it's so simple in the lyrics and the melody, it was easier than I thought to execute it. And I enjoyed doing it and enjoyed adding some harmonies here and there.
The harmonies are everything, baby. Those harmonies are gorgeous.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm just honored to be a part of this amazing soundtrack and this film. I'm excited. So thank you.
Thank you. Kenny, and so Kenny, you did this beautiful song, and I just it's at the end of the adventure, and it's such an emotional moment, and it's such a ride,
Yeah.
and the idea of Parker kind of taking off and them kind of leaving each other and not being sure of what their future is. What was that like? And yes, your wife is on here. Hi,
Hey,
beautiful
Faith is
Judge.
here. Hey, it was really an amazing opportunity. I love writing for film. It's something about creating music to go into scenes and having the storyline already in front of you, but making that music match and creating something that is your vision as the director. And it's a different kind of challenge that I love all the time. I've done it for Love Jones and The Best Man and Lion King, and I've done a few other movies, and this was no exception to a great experience again. And it was like a gift for me because it's like a double whammy. I actually have a whole album of my own that just came out today. So we're celebrating music on a whole nother level. So my album is here, but at the same time, one more wish this Christmas with Nelson Jackson, my buddy. When we got together to create, he's one of those people that's fast too. He's really fast, and he just gets it. Whereas as you begin to talk about what your vision is, he starts to lay the musical bed, and I started writing lyrics, and all of a sudden we had this beautiful song.
Yes, absolutely. I love the songs that you both perform on the soundtrack and in the movie. There's such beauty in simplicity.
Yes.
Oftentimes music and songs can get overproduced, oversung.
Yeah.
Y'all can sing. I mean, y'all can sing the song. And there's such a simplicity and the strength and power and beauty that's in the simplicity of it. The people that we worked with you guys for the production of the songs and things like that. Do you feel that, and again, with the harmonies that are there, both have a real strong acoustic nature to it? Do you feel that's kind of, and let me just say too, I didn't direct Adventures in Christmasing. So executive producer and
I'm sorry.
The lead. No.
You're the star.
But I did produce the soundtrack with Paul and Trayvon, whom all of you all will meet shortly.
Yeah.
But we how did it feel? Again, Alex, starting with you first, and then we'll let you both jump because I know you guys go. But how did it feel to be a part of, again, holiday music, but not, and especially for you, Alex, not in that traditional sense? Because my thing with your song, Alex, Let's Explore, I was like, you can't have even an idea of a love scene moment and not have the name Isley somewhere. So,
right.
But I mean, just again, going back to the style of the song and the production, how was it for you guys with that?
For me, it was new. I don't know that particular song and the delivery of it. It was new. It was new territory for me. But again, I was just so just so taken with how beautiful it was, and again back to the simplicity of everything. So it was just fun, and it just came naturally. The recording process again was just a lot easier than I thought it would be. So new for me, but exciting.
I'm really struck by, and bro, I definitely will want to hear from you too on this, but I am completely struck by that answer, Alex, because that's the nature of this film. Doing something that's new, and it's a little scary, it's a little exciting, coming out of your comfort zone, and to know that that kind of transcended and navigated its way to you on the soundtrack side. Wow. I don't take that lightly as an artist, because you could have easily said, that ain't what I do, no thank you, and stuck with what you do. But the fact that you did something different.
Yeah, and I think that's important to, as an artist, to step outside of your comfort zone, when it's called for. And I think with this film in particular and the plot of it, exploring new territory and doing things, that are unknown to you. I wanted to come into that rather than figure out how I can impose, whatever I naturally have. I wanted to fit myself into the message of everything. So.
Wow. If you're just now joining us, we've got Alex Isley and Kenny Lattimore here. They're about to jump because we've got some more dynamic artists entering our chat. We are celebrating the release of Adventures in Christmasing, the soundtrack that goes with our movie, Adventures in Christmasing, which this is our premiere week on VH1. So Kenny, how was this for you, this process?
I think it was wonderful for me because I love the simplicity, the fact that I'm able to be a part of the storytelling, and it's almost like, wow, I get to write something that is going to be really impactful in the scene to help to explore it and help to develop that scene. And you're absolutely right when you say you don't want it to be overproduced. You don't want it to take away from the scene, or you want it to complement it in the most perfect way, so that it helps to put the emotion or a different set of emotion to what's actually happening in the moment. So that's where the challenge is. So for us to be able to have the opportunity to come in and write, it's a different kind of skill set, because you got to be spot on in your timing and what you have to say. So it's a different kind of thing. So when you were talking about the other staff, Trayvon, who we love, working with these other great music makers to help give us our direction. Now, I think I got that right. So I know Trayvon was giving me direction as well.
Yes.
So that we would get it right in the scene. It's a great challenge for a writer. And but it's fun to have those kind of challenges. That's what makes this whole being a part of this industry, and having a legend like you, my sis, to collaborate with. It is one of the most wonderful things that we can do.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys. The songs that these two beautiful souls and artists bring to the table. I just messed up my shot just walking all through it. But the songs that they bring, Alex again does a beautiful love song called Let's Explore. And Kenny does a wonderful song that is also a bit of a Christmas song, One More Wish This Christmas. And what I love too is that these songs are not just on the soundtrack, but they're actually in the movie. And so, bro, like you were saying, lyrically speaking, and just the tweaks that we made. I remember one of the versions that you sent, and I said, "Oh, can we make it so that it doesn't seem like they're waiting until next year, but that push-pull of wanting to be together?"
Yeah.
And you made an adjustment, lyrically.
Thank you. And that's part of the process that I really do love. It becomes this whole conversation between you and I, and then it becomes this conversation between the film and the soundtrack and how it all fits together. It's like this beautiful puzzle.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
once we fit the right pieces in together, it's magical.
Yeah, yeah. And Alex, the same with you and your song, sweetie, because every time I kept seeing the different edits, and we would hear the music come in and all this stuff, and they're in this cave. And I thought, let's just please strip all that away, strip it all away, because it's far more intimate and a bit remote feeling, you know, and how to convey that. So we stripped a lot of it away, the instrumentation, but that's also a testament to you as the artist, because you carried that Joker and didn't need all of that could have come in that moment.
Thank you. I'm just so happy and excited with the the final result of everything, and just it's just really beautiful. So I'm just happy to be a part. I also have to say, Mr. Lattimore, Kenny, just to be in this space with the both of you is just an honor. But to me, Kenny, I have been listening to you for years and years and years, and you're one of my absolute favorites. So it's a pleasure to be alongside you for this moment.
Thank you so much. Honor. It's an honor. And then you gave me an opportunity to do Christmas music. Oh, this is great, because it's been a number of years since I've been able to do Christmas music, which, like I said, it's like a gift. I'm giving, back. But no, I appreciate that comment. I appreciate your encouragement and your support. It never gets old. I've been in this industry for a really long time, but when I hear anybody say that I have been any kind of inspiration, or that they've liked what I've done, I still just take that in like it's my first project ever. It really is an honor. It is.
Yeah.
So thank you, Alex.
Of course.
Well, thank you both so much for dropping by. We have to have more chats and everything. We're going to play a bit of your songs as we get Paul and Trayvon in. But thank you. I know you both have to jump. I appreciate the time. Guys, give some love to Alex Isley and Kenny Lattimore. Give it up.
Yeah,
give it up.
I see your comment down there.
Thank you.
God bless you.
We've got more guests. Don't you guys go away. We've got some more great guests coming in the room. We have got, of course, our music composer, Paul Wright III, and we've got our music supervisor. The reason why I'm sitting here, so this is a part of my office, and this is Charlie Parker, and this is actually who Parker, my character in the movie, is named after. Her first name, Parker, is right here, Charlie Parker, and the whole idea of a strong jazz component was really important to me in terms of Christmas movie music. So we want to get a couple of our other guests in the building. Trayvon and Paul, are you guys here yet? We wanted to make sure that we get you both in here. Mark Kibble, I want to click on you and bring you into this room. Please let me know if I can. I will respect you if you're like, no, don't do that. I'm just here loving and supporting. But we wanted to, again, guys, if you're just joining us, Adventures in Christmasing, our new action-adventure rom-com that takes place during the holiday season. We are excited because our soundtrack dropped today. Everywhere that you get your music, to download, to purchase, to just enjoy the music. And so we want you to be able to get your hands on the soundtrack and enjoy all the songs, the score as well. And so we want to, okay, Trayvon is here. Let me see how to go live with Trayvon Potts. Yay. So we'll get Trayvon and Paul in the building. Meanwhile, Mark, I'm still going to ask if you will come in at some point. Mark Kibble, my brother. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Woo! Okay, so these two gentlemen right here, Trayvon Potts, right here. Trayvon was our music supervisor for the film. Okay, and we'll go into that in a second. And then this gentleman here is Paul Wright III, and Paul was our music composer with his team. And so they both contributed greatly. Tandria Potts just said, "Hi, husband," to you and
Hi,
Trayvon.
honey.
You want to say bye to the people? Come here and thank them again for all your birthday love and wishes.
Bye.
Wait, come back
Bye.
here. There you go.
Hey.
Thank you.
He's like, I got to switch. I'm not playing around and being on this live. I got stuff to play with. So we wanted to have this really strong sense of not just regular Christmas movie music. That was my mandate before either of them signed on to the project. And so, oh Lord, you got people. Trayvon, please mentor me. And so for me, it was really important, and I've been blessed to do a number of holiday movies, and certainly a fan of them, like most of us. And I wanted to do something different. You know, that was kind of the mantra for the film itself, but as a producer, as a creative, as a storyteller. And I wanted to thank you. I see the comments, guys, when you say you love the movie. Anyway, and so I didn't want just the usual, bum, 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 bum. That's always that's like the score of every holiday movie.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Please hear me when I say no shade. It's just that I wanted to do something different. And I wanted to do something that made an impact, but you didn't really know what it was right out the gate. Because underscore, the operative part of that word is under. And so if you are too busy listening to the music or you're so aware of it, great film, great music, my friend Paul, yay. But if you're too aware of it, then we're not doing our job right. They ain't doing their job right. So I was delighted when Viacom said to me, as executive producer, who do you want to score this? Who do you want to do the supervise the music altogether? And so both of these old friends of mine, old family friends of mine. Paul, should I tell it?
You can tell it. You can tell it.
Paul and I go back to when I was around 14 and I was doing Christian concerts. And
oh my God.
I know, right? 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there. It was after the Dear Michael, era. And so I started trying to write songs and, for you old heads out there that are in the music industry, y'all know the little black cassettes.
Yes.
The little black demo cassettes. Baby Paul, and Paul keeps threatening, talking about he's got a whole shoebox.
I've got them all.
So that's how far back Paul and I go. Paul and I, for again, you old heads who've followed every nook and cranny of my career, you know that I did a project called The Gospel Buggy. It was like a kids' faith-based thing with Carvin Winans. Paul was on that. Paul and my mother wrote Can I for David Peaston. Okay, I'm tossing them out, y'all. I am tossing them out. So that's how far back Paul goes. Trayvon and I, and his beautiful wife, my dear, dear sister friend, Tandria. So we all go back to right about 2009 or so, when I met them for the movie Across to Bear. Tandria directed it, and Tandy's husband, Trayvon, wrote the score and the music. So we go, there's a lot of wonderful history here. Somebody just started in all caps typing the lyrics to Dear Michael. Lord. And let me just also add this, because he's already left the building. But with Kenny Lattimore, one of the very first holiday projects that I ever produced was called Holiday Love. And it was just something that was a labor of love, just pulling in family and friends, and some of the urban cable networks that picked it up. And Kenny was one of our celebrity friends on that. And when I tell you, he sang so beautifully. It was just incredible. And so to come full circle, where he's still in the holiday space with me and still rolling with us is just, it's such a gift. So all of that to say, that's who these two are. That's who they are to me. Certainly love the work that you did on this project. Who wants to go first?
Paul?
Hey, sure, why not? First thing that I'll say is, I've been doing movies for a while, and you normally don't get such pinpointed direction from a producer. Because, you can write music and the producer will come back and say, no, because they really don't know what they want. Mm-hmm. You knew exactly what you wanted. And that made the process even much more smoother than it could have ever been. Yeah, did we have to find where the niche was? Absolutely. But to have you say, no, I need this here, I need this sound here, we could have been spinning our wheels for weeks. But you knew exactly what you wanted, and you don't really get that in film when someone sits down with, we spot movies. It's called spotting a movie. We'll spot a movie with the director or producer, and they kind of lead you astray. They kind of tell you what they think. But you pinpointed it so much that, and then Trayvon, of course, you helped, especially when we got to the open, because we were going back and forth with it open. And you were like, yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm like, okay, this is not it. No, this is not it. Not it. So after, I think it's about 8 tries, Trayvon said, because he was your interpreter, Trayvon said, this is what she wants. And I was like, oh, okay. So me and my team, and I have to talk about my team because every movie that I do, 360 Music Works as a team of composers, and I'm at the helm kind of, running the thing. But I also have a team of composers that I bring in for every film. And for this one, it Maestro Lightford. If you don't know Maestro's name, you need to know his name. Brilliant composer, brilliant orchestrator. He was my right hand. Everything that we did it together. I think he's out there somewhere. If he's out there, you can bring him in. But we have a story to tell because how this score was written. I'm in Nashville, so I'm writing the score from the Nashville area. He's in LA, but then he went to Ghana in the middle of the movie. So we're literally writing this movie and writing the score from Ghana to Nashville. So I would start writing something, and luckily he's 5 hours ahead. So when I'm ready to go to bed, he's ready to wake up to finish it. So that's how we wrote this. So Maestro, if you're out there, I definitely want you to pop in.
I'm trying to bring him in the room now.
All right.
There he is.
There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
So this is the guy that I've been talking about.
Paul, can you bring your camera down just a little bit, sir?
Sure thing.
There we go.
So this is the guy I've been talking about. So this is my literally right hand. I give him melodies. We actually read each other's minds musically. It's the craziest thing. I'll start off with the melody, and he goes, yeah, I know what you want. I got it. So don't worry about it. And he'll finish it, or he'll start something, and I'm like, I got this. You can work on something else. So that's how the movie came about. That's Mr. Lightford.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Man, that was a fun process,
Maestro, Mark Kibble says, hello, fam. He's like, hey, Maestro.
Oh, yeah, that's Uncle Mark, man. Oh,
Uncle Mark. Yeah, Mark is.
Between Paul and Mark, man, they've done so much for me.
Yes, absolutely. So, guys, if you're just joining us, we are so excited to celebrate and have a bit of a little shindig, a little throwdown party right now because the soundtrack to Adventures in Christmasing has been released. It is available everywhere that you get your music. It is a phenomenal soundtrack. We've got some of our score and all of our original songs. And this right here is the primary team that put it together. We are also going to be joined by Frankie, who's another one of the producers that we have on the project, Penzilla. But again, overall, these were the guys, starting with this guy here, Trayvon, and then this guy here, Paul, and then Maestro and Paul. They are part of Paul's team. And so that's what we're talking about is the music, some of the behind the music. We just spoke with Alex Isley and Kenny Lattimore, who are on the soundtrack. We'll bring in a couple of other artists. Stick around because TC Carson from Living Single will be stepping in the building because he is on the soundtrack. He does this really, really hot, jazzy, swanky jingle bells. So you don't want to miss a little Living Single vibe that's going to happen in a bit. Don't send us all these reboots in all caps and holler out at us. Just enjoy what we give you now. Just enjoy what we give you. So guys, in terms of the idea of balance, you know, and Paul, thank you very much to both of you in terms of your acknowledgement, your compliments in terms of what I was able to bring to the party, so to speak, as producer, exec producer. But balancing out the concept of Christmas movie music, the concept of the core feel, which is a lot of jazz. Other than the adventure, our movie takes place in Harlem, and so wanting to give a little nod to Harlem. What was it like to try to balance all of these different sounds and feels and yet be so, cohesive?
It was interesting because, originally you mentioned the jazz piece and you mentioned some people like Jeremy Pelt and you mentioned some things like that. So that really helped us start the process. And what Maestro and I talked about a lot was, and we talked about it too, Kim, we wanted to give Parker a sound, a musical sound. And that musical sound was that jazz element. So every time you saw Parker or Parker talking to Finn, you heard her swag, sort of her musical swag. Yeah. And that was purposeful. Maestro and I talked about it in a lot of great detail about what that should be. And then when you saw Finn's music was a little more adventurous. And that was also purposeful. And the only time that we give Parker some adventure in the score is in the open. Because that was the part where, and then we close it up when you're climbing down the mountain and you have to get to the extraction point. We kind of bring that back again. So those are the only two adventure points you hear for Parker. But mixing those two, and then the biggest trick was finding a sound cohesive throughout the movie, so you didn't sound like a bunch of sound bites.
Right.
So that everything sounded like it fit and like it belonged together. That's not always easy to do, especially when you're working in the Christmas space, because you still want a little bit of holiday in there, but you don't want to drive it home, as you said, with the dun, 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 dun. You don't want to do that either. Right, It was like, we want to kind of, better way to say it, kind of class it up a little bit, give Christmas a little more something than just your normal thing.
Yeah.
But then the whole score feels like Christmas, even though you're in that jazz space. That's kind of what we were trying to do when we were. Like I said, Maestro and I talked about it in detail, and that's kind of the ticket we took there. And then of course Trayvon's musical expertise with his supervision was amazing because his songs helped us, because we had to write around his music that he was bringing to the table, and it actually helped because we're like, oh, let's explore. Okay, how are we going to come out of that? Well, that's easy because here's how we're going to do. So that was it was really cool.
Yeah. So to that, then Trayvon, for you, because again, what we're talking about here, guys, is the soundtrack for our movie Adventures in Christmasing has just been released everywhere that you buy or download or listen to or create a playlist from. Everywhere you get music or access music, the Adventures in Christmasing soundtrack is there. And this is the team primarily that put it together under the leadership of Trayvon and Paul. So Trayvon, in terms of creating and reaching out to the producers and getting songs, we have the great honor, actually, everybody, of being the movie for VH1 that has, thank you, Melba Moore. Oh, she's just talking about the movie, guys. Yes, the legend, Melba Moore. So the idea that the fact that our movie has the most original songs than any of the movies on the holiday slate for VH1. It's great. It's a great compliment, and they're very excited. And so, yes, Maddie, we see you, Madison Potts, Trayvon's daughter. Another, just everybody with the last name Potts from all of them is just brilliant. But in terms of creating and finding music, the right producers, because as a music supervisor, we could have just licensed, some songs and been, about that life, but we weren't. So, Trayvon, how was the journey for you? And again, keeping everything so cohesive.
Well, there are a few things that one of the things that Paul brought up was you had very clear direction that you wanted. And you had a real clear vision for what you wanted as far as the music. So that made life so much easier in terms of even going out and seeking the right music. But also one of the things that was amazing with Paul and Maestro, the genius of the music that they were doing is we kind of were going back and forth. So there were things that I was feeding off of what they were creating, and then and it was kind of like mutually we were going back and forth with that. So if there are elements where you felt that you wanted something to be more moody or jazzier, then that meant that I would find music from artists that were more vibey, like for instance, like an Alex Isley, who we both are fans of, and knowing just kind of like her tone and her voice. But then the idea was also then, well, what is a song that would work that fits that? And so then it's going out and working with a producer, wonderful, the Writer House. They are a great team over there, and I've worked with them before. With different projects, and so knowing that they could bring something to this, and so we really it was like a dance, and having a conversation with you, and having conversations with Paul, and all of us coming together, and then we're able to kind of work through and pull together music, and so I just had to go out there and dip into relationships that I had, and really go to artists that I knew that would fit, and it worked out. It was a blessing to be able to do it.
Yeah,
Brilliant job, Trayvon.
Oh,
very much so.
You're brilliant, sir. I appreciate it.
One thing I find really so interesting is that, and I appreciate it very much so, when you guys are always talking about, Melba Moore guy saying the songs fit perfectly in the movie scenes. And then she says Kim was so fabulous. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Also, I want to say hello to Miss Dennis, the fabulous Miss Dennis. Gabs is in the building. Yes, honey, Gabrielle Dennis is in here. My Upshaw's co-star. She's wonderful, and she's hysterical in everything she does, from the Old Spice campaign with Dion to Black Lady Sketch Comedy. So hello, dear beautiful heart. But I learned something. And people have a tendency to think when you have been in the game a long time, or that you've been doing this for a long time, that you're just calling the shots, and I learned something, but also, you have to work with people that you trust and respect. And what I mean, but get away from the front door. And what I mean by that, maybe that monkey thing don't ever stop that.
I love how you can go back and forth.
Great. Yeah. Right back to it.
You're just switching hats. Yeah.
All in one.
What I mean by that is for me, yes, I appreciate you guys constantly saying I knew what I wanted, I had a certain sound, I had a certain vision, and all of those things. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute for you, Quincy. But you also have that sense of the moments where I couldn't quite pinpoint it. And here was the real thing, guys, where I'm talking about learning and not having such tunnel vision. You have to know when it's like, no, this is really what I want. This is really what I'm hearing. But be open. Still be open. That's part of the creative process. That's who we are as creatives. And so because of that, for example, When I tell y'all, I really wanted a certain song at the end of this movie. Look at them. Look, all three of them just laughing. Baby, I was in that thing.
Yes,
I
you
wanted
did.
that
Oh,
song.
you wanted the song. That's
I had wanted that song before any of these folks was signed on, okay? I had wanted this song before we started filming, okay?
Yeah.
That's how much I knew that I wanted this song in the movie. And so by the time we got to the end, and we even started going down the rabbit hole of licensing it, what it was going to cost, placing it. I mean, we were really, in that thing. And then music
We even did some remakes of it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but the leadership, the team said, hey, we hear you, and yes, it sounds great. However, just listen to this. Just try this. Now, Paul played dirty because he said maybe we can get Michael McDonald to sing it. And y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know that I'm like, well, shout, okay, I'll got my whole vision. So, but the thing about it was we have, and Paul said, hey, listen, this is still at the end of the day a Christmas movie. And while you have all this other stuff in your head with it being a romantic action adventure and all this stuff, there's still the element of Christmas movie. And you need a Christmas song. And right now, the Motown sound is hot. That classic Motown sound. Don't do no, reimagine today's sound for it. No, go back and get exactly that sound and get you a song. And so Paul and his team, just the whole music department came together, and we now have this wonderful song called I Need You This Christmas. You might remember when I was in Ireland last month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had just landed. I got to the airport. I got picked up, and I was in the car, and the driver was driving me to the hotel. And Paul sent me the track, and he's like, just listen to it. We know what you want, but just listen to it. Yes, the movie is available on VH1 now, and the encore presentation is this Tuesday, the 7th, by the way, of, again, Adventures in Christmasing. So I'm in the car, and I didn't have my headset with me, my ears, and so I played the song, and the driver, quintessential welcome to Ireland type of driver, he's up there just driving and bobbing and singing. And then when it was over, he was like, oh my gosh, that was great. And then he started singing it back to me after one hearing and more of the lyrics. And I sent Paul a text, and I was like, okay, you win.
And that's a wonderful thing. And that's a wonderful thing, because when Paul sent it to me, we already knew where we were. We were just waiting. We were just waiting, and we knew you were going to come to where we were, because it's a brilliant song, and it's amazing production, and Paul and his team. It was great, and so that was awesome that we were able to have such a wonderful song at the end of the movie.
Yeah, very much so. But again, it's the collaboration. Collaborating is such a process.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their lane, and yet we're all, a part of this same story. And we all have different ways to use our gifts to tell the story.
Right.
And being able to hear each other and really listen. And of course, there were times when they would, present their whole thing, and I was like, yeah, I know, but this is what I'm feeling here,
Yes.
So I really appreciate that effort. But also it takes, it takes a strong leader to be able to listen to the people that they're supposedly leading.
Yeah.
So, visionaries and creatives, if y'all are out there, storytellers, content providers, and all of that, get you a dope ass squad, but then you gotta be able to listen to them. No, for real though,
Right,
So the name of that song is called I Need You This Christmas. It's on the soundtrack of Adventures in Christmasing, which is our action adventure holiday movie. Guys, do we have a couple of minutes for you to play a couple of songs?
Sure.
From the movie.
Yeah.
Again, the movie. While Paul is prepping that, the movie is called "I Need You." No, it's not. The movie is called.
The movie is not called "I Need You."
No.
Yes. That is not the. That is
The movie is called Adventures in Christmas.
In Christmas thing.
Yes.
Yes.
That is our soundtrack name as well. And in my story, in all of our stories and everything, we will also put up the link to the soundtrack and everything.
Yeah.
So what you gonna drop on us? So this is our kind of listening party.
Yeah.
I'll pull the curtain
Sure
back
thing.
and have
Sure thing.
some
What do you
BTS.
want to hear first? You're the DJ. You're the DJ. What do you want to hear first?
You're talking to me, aren't you?
Yes. What do you want to hear first, DJ?
You know what I want to hear? Our adventure theme. The very first track. Our
Okay,
adventure
here we
theme.
go.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's this. Yeah. Here we go. Listen.
Wait.
There you go.
That's freaking awesome.
Adventures in Christmas.
Oh man. Let me
There you
tell
go.
y'all.
So that's fire.
I just want
Brilliant.
Give the people some beats. Give the people some behind the scenes on how we arrived at that brilliance.
Oh man, that's a long.
Well, you know what? It was pretty funny because this had so many different versions of this intro. So, and I think I said, what did I say? We did 8 versions. It was a span over. What was it, Maestro? 8 days, 7 days.
Probably. I mean, they all blur together. I mean, it was definitely over a week. Every day was a new.
That's the longest I think we as a team has ever spent on a 1-minute song. But the payoff. But the payoff is there. I mean, it goes back to Kim and I. You had conversations. You kept saying, and do you get frustrated after a while? Of course we do. We're like, okay, I don't get it. I don't get what is she trying to say? What is she trying to say? And you kept saying, I need to hear this one thing. I need to have this feel. And like I said, your interpreter, Trayvon, called me. And he was like, he said, he just said, look, listen to this link. This is it. This is what she wants. And as soon as we did it, we were like, okay, we got this now. So I said, I think, and I remember texting you, Paul, that said, I think we got it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sent you we sent you the demo of Adventures in Christmasing, the theme.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, if you're just joining us, so that song is track 1 on our soundtrack, which was just released for Adventures in Christmasing. But that's also the very beginning of the movie. And, we wanted something that I have a degree in broadcast journalism. And one of the things they tell you right out the gate is you got to hit them with like the first couple of sentences, first couple of seconds. That's all you got to really get them. But once you get them, you better not let them go.
No.
Bet not. You bet not. And so that's what we wanted. We wanted, and because the opening frame of the movie is me, my character slamming against the ice and the rocks of a mountain, rappelling and hanging down. And so it's like, whoa, what is happening? Where are we? And you see these beautiful shots of where we were. Those are our actual locations. And so I said, I love the feel of like Mission Impossible.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, we still need a little bit of that music that's Christmas, because it's not just a suspense thriller. We don't want to mislead them, but we do want them. We want to pique their interest, whet the appetite, get them intrigued. Like, oh, what is this?
Right.
And that's a big, tall order. You know, to give someone, and y'all knocked it. Ooh, y'all smashed that joker right there. Y'all smashed that.
No.
I love it. I mean, if that
Incredible.
needs to be a part of everybody's playlist for their motivation.
Yes.
Everybody. And that said, let's talk a little bit about some of the motivations, if we can. So Gabrielle said, you guys nailed it. Didn't they, sis? Didn't they? Thank you, Gabrielle Dennis. She's a beast. If she says you nailed it, then y'all nailed it. But some of the musical inspiration. So when we started filming, I actually had put together a playlist again, before these jokers even came to the party, before they were hired, before there was talk of them, before I knew that I had the ability to hire and to bring them on. I was like, wait, what y'all want me to do? So my thing was, let me get the music that I hear and that I feel and see. And so I listened to a lot of Black Violin. They were, huge influencers for us with this project. Vo Williams, Vo, you my dude. Sebastian, our oldest boy, actually had introduced me to Vo's music. He does a lot of that feel good, I'm a champion, and just all kind of real strong, inspirational music. And so those were a lot of my the playlist that I had initially put together to share with anybody who was going to do the music for this movie, because I knew that it really needed to be a moment. You know, it wasn't something that was just kind of there. Jeremy Pelt, like we talked about. And Jeremy just got back to New York for being in Europe. So he was on the live on Sunday with Adrian Holmes and Jonathan Silverman. And so if you can catch that, it's still on the feed, on my feed. And so being able to have that jazz component as well. Again, she's named after Parker. She's named after Charlie Parker. So having all of that, you know what? If you don't want to listen, go. Bye. Anyway, so having those elements there was really important, so that, again, you had that sense of, oh, this is what I like. This is what I'm trying to hear.
Right.
What's next for us?
All right. What do you want to hear? Like I said, you're the DJ.
Oh, somebody said the song Anticipation. Good pick.
Good pick. You want to hear that next?
Yeah. Trayvon, set this one up for us.
Oh, this is a song that comes from this amazing team called the Writer House. I mentioned them before. And what is it? Frankie and Jordan and Jeff and Aaron. They